amigas, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Diaz and I talk about relationship advice, life advice, and hypergamy. So if you guys would like to keep hearing about these subjects, make sure you guys subscribe. So you guys know that I often talk about, how against them about 50-50 relationships and about, being with a man that likes and wants to provide and providers and all this stuff. But just because he is a provider does not mean that he is a high value man. And today we're going to be going over 3 dusty providers that we do not want to be with. The 3 dusty providers I have are the fake provider, the cheap provider, and the God complex provider. Okay, we're gonna go through each one of these and let me know what you think. So first is a fake provider. This will mostly be a guy that is just inherently too feminine. Since he is too feminine, you can be his dream girl and he will still feel some type of resentment towards you because he is providing for everything. This will be the man to tell you like, oh, because of me we have this house, because of me we have this car, because of me we went on vacation, because of me you have, that outfit on. These will be the men to throw everything in your face. So in a relationship that is polarized, the man is going to give and the woman's going to receive. Of course, the woman's going to give, but in different ways. And usually a masculine man realizes and knows that. He can be like, I'm gonna give this woman a house and she's gonna turn it into a home. I'm gonna give this woman, money for groceries, money for bills, money for this, money for that. And she's gonna grow it into something like a beautiful meal. I'm gonna give this woman a little seed and she's gonna grow it into a baby. A true masculine man understands that, right? But a feminine man won't ever understand that. A true provider, a man that is in his divine masculine, he's going to want to give you gifts to make you happy, to see you smile. He's going to send you random flowers. He's going to maybe go to the mall and get you a nice gift or something, right? But these guys, the dusty providers, the fake providers, will only gift you things to receive something in return. It could be something materialistic or something physical. So let's say the girl is like, just had a baby and he buys her, I don't know, like a really nice bag, right? And then because what she gave wasn't like a material thing, like something that she bought, he would still ask her, okay, but what are you gonna get me because I got you that bag? These men will also give you a lot of trauma gifts. These men will provide for you with the bare minimum, and then since they're not comfortable with who they are, they're not in their divine masculine, they will go and mess around and do things that are going to make you mad. To be able to get you back, that's when they're going to splurge on you. That's when they're going to spoil you. But remember that when you receive gifts that were given to you because your feelings were hurt, those are not real gifts. Those are trauma gifts. These men also don't see the value in domestic labor. They don't see the value in childcare labor. They don't see the value in any of that. So they will be the ones calling you lazy because you're a stay-at-home mom. They will be the ones telling you that you don't do anything. At first, he will be very resentful and very complainy. Is that even a word? Like he's going to complain a lot about providing, but once he gets used to it, there's a big chance that he will turn into the God complex provider because he will think like, well, if I'm providing, I need to be getting more out of this. And that's when he's gonna start controlling you. That's when he's gonna start rubbing in your face even more. That's when he's gonna apply restrictions to your life, and we don't want that. These are men that have probably seen their moms work to the bone, moms that had 50-50 relationships, and he saw how convenient it was for the dad, aspiring for the same in his relationship. These are also men that don't really respect or care about women, because if you think about it, a man that saw his mom, breaking her back and crying about bills and crying about how much her body hurts because she is overworking it, at the same time sees his dad just, laid back drinking a beer after a 6-7 hour shift and not doing absolutely anything for the rest of the day, he's going to see how better it is for the dad and want to aspire to that. not caring if his wife ends up feeling like his mom, in pain, resentful, and unhappy. What does that tell us about him? He doesn't really respect women. Either that or he doesn't see the harm that it has caused his mom, which is why I think we should be talking more about, you know, how bad 50-50 relationships can affect your body and your health when you're a woman, because you have to be in your masculine. When you are a woman and you live in your masculine for too long, you just become burned out. Ooh, these guys will also feature project a lot. These will be guys that will be designer wearing bumps. Yeah, I like to call it that. Designer wearing bumps are guys that will spend all of their money on designer things, so people will think that they have more money than they actually do. And I know that very loud designer fashion is now seemed as like tacky and stuff, but you know, younger girls that really get carried away by them thinking like, oh, this guy had all this money to buy all these designer things to begin with, he must be so rich. But oftentimes they're not. Oftentimes these guys will be decked out in designer with a little bit in their bank accounts and a lot of promises. Like, oh yes, we're gonna do this and we're gonna go on vacation here and I'm gonna buy you this and I'm gonna buy you that. And because as a woman, you've had a little bit of proof that he's been able to do certain of those things, you will believe him. You will believe him, and then he's just gonna keep, you know, wasting your time, and he's gonna be saying, oh, in 6 months I'm gonna do this for you, and then 6 months are gonna pass, and then you're gonna be like, hey, where did that thing go, or whatever, like, what about your promise? And then he's gonna be like, no, because in another 6 months or in another year, I'm gonna buy you a house, or I'm gonna da. And it will just keep going like that. So say no to designer wearing bumps, because they will literally watch you struggle. Like I said, they can look like they're rich, but they don't really have it like that. Also, these men will not do things for you unless it involves them and benefits them as well. Let's say a trip, right? He is taking you on a trip, but that trip is a work trip. Yes, he might be going to, let's say, Hawaii, right? He's gonna be going to Hawaii, but he's taking you on that work trip because you're hot, and his friends will say that you're hot. You go on the work trip, you have to go to all his little work meetings, work brunches and lunches and dinners. That trip was not for you. He will make it seem like, oh yes, I'm taking you on this trip because I love you and because blah, 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 blah. When in reality, he's just taking you on that trip for his own benefit. Because if it wasn't you, it would be another girl. It really would. Because what he wanted was a little prize to show off. So no, that gift was not for you. That gift involved him getting benefited, and that's the only reason why he did it. The second type of provider is the cheap provider. And we've talked about this many times. Cheap rich men are the same as broke men. I do not care how much money you have. I care about how much money you're going to give me, okay? Like when guys are like, oh yeah, like look at my car, like look at how much money I have, I'm like, okay, and how much are you gonna give me? That's what I care about, because these are the reason why. Cheap providers, men that have money but are kind of giving like cheap steaks from TLC vibes. Of course, I'm not talking about being like that cheap, but a lot of men have, let's say, a 200, 300, 400,000 yearly income, and they decide to live on like 40,000. Like, what are you doing with the rest? Like, what is the rest for? You know what I mean? I'm all about, you know, saving and living within your means and everything. But when you are giving yourself a low quality of life to be able to save and all this stuff, I don't know. I don't think I agree with that. If you have to be pinching pennies and not being able to do the stuff that makes you happy and live comfortably, even though you can, but you care more about that money being in the bank, no, like I think investing in yourself is so important. And I feel like a lot of cheap people see that as like a waste of money. I cannot trust people like that. I just can't. And also, I'm not talking about the people that don't have money to take care of themselves. I'm talking about the people that have money but choose to not only live below their means, but to actually live a low quality of life. These type of cheap providers also might not see a lot of value in actually giving you a good life. And a lot of the people might be thinking like, oh well, but what are they doing with their money? Yes, a lot of the times, you know, they can be saving it, they can be investing it, they can be saving it for their kids' college, but also a lot of other times they can be saving it, which is spending it in addictions. It could be, you know, gambling addictions, it could be alcohol addictions, it could be drug addictions, it could be sex addictions, like you really never know. Or they could be saving it to treat their second wife as a queen, let's be honest. Because hypergamy is not only about dating someone with higher financial status, but also someone that is going to provide you with a higher quality of life for you and your children. Like my mom says, ni cuando era pobre. Like, do not be making me do things that I had to do when I was poor when I don't need to. That's what she says. Like when we have to like economize or something, she's like, not even when I was poor. Not even when I was poor I was doing that. Like, ni cuando era pobre. You are also very likely to suffer financial abuse from these people. And sometimes, you know, life can get in the way, you know, kids and the house and chores and activities and all this stuff, that if you are being provided for, you are going to prefer to want to do all of that for your family and want to take care of your kids and all this stuff. So he's going to become your source of income. He is going to be the sole breadwinner, right? And this is when they will start financially abusing you. These men will also provide you with the bare minimum. Like they will take care of the rent and the utilities and give you like $100 for groceries. You don't have a job, you know, because you are taking care of the kids and you're doing all of these 1,000 different things at once. You literally will not have $5 in your wallet after paying for bills. And he will have you pinching for pennies. Yes, he might be providing, but that's not the way that you want to be provided for. Not the bare minimum, because we know how expensive it is to be a woman. And then we have the God provider. This provider wants to come home to his woman in lingerie with a full face of makeup, with her hair done, with standing at the entrance with the gold platter and the juiciest Wagyu steak in the world, and then feed it to him like a choo-choo train. That's the God provider, the God complex provider. This provider thinks that you would literally like die without him. Like he will be the one to say, you are so lucky to have me because you would be homeless without me. And it's so funny because I've actually heard guys say that. I was dating this guy and he had a friend, and his friend started talking to this new girl that she lived in California, and her situation in California wasn't so good, so he brought her to Dallas, and she came here to Dallas and she started living in like this high-rise apartment, like very nice apartment and stuff like that. And he would always just be like, oh my gosh, to think that you'd be homeless without me. Like, to think that you would have no place to live without me. Like, what? What the heck? You are also very, very prone to financial abuse with these men because they have a sort of like master-slave relationship vibes. Like, he will want you to do anything and everything for him. He will want you to be his wife, his dog, his server, his maid, his cook, like everything. I'm not saying it's like bad to like cook for men or clean for men, but he will want you to do it like at the snap of a finger. Also, these men think that, like, again, since they think they're actual God, because they're providing, you know, a $50,000 salary a year, they will think that they can do whatever they want. They will be like, well, I'm providing and I have her in the house, so I am gonna go get 3 girlfriends and get them all pregnant. And he will literally think that's okay. He'll be like, what? I'm providing? Like, Also, these type of men will feel like providing makes them superior to you. These men like the control that they have over you. These men will often not let you have friends or a job or family because, again, they want to have all the control over you. They don't want other people to give you any other perspectives in your relationship or what he's doing or tell you that you should leave him. So that's why he just wants you just for himself and at home. So yes, guys, those were my 3 dusty providers. If I think of any more, I will let you guys know about them. But I think it's very important to recognize that a high value man is not a man that is rich or is a millionaire, that even is a provider, because as we saw, a lot of providers can be toxic and can be dusties, and are definitely some men that we do not want in our lives. I feel like society really installed these 3 archetypes, these 3 types of dusty providers to be the standard provider, when in reality it's not. A man that is in his divine masculine, he will enjoy to provide for you. He will feel pride in providing. It will make him feel masculine. It will make him feel useful. It will make him feel in control. It will make him feel like the leader. And it will put you in your feminine energy. You will be able to relax. You will be able to rest. You will be able to take care of yourself, and you will be able to take care of him. And they do it because they know that it will make the relationship better, and it will make you happier, which will make him happier. So make sure to avoid these 3 dusty, musty, crusty providers. And if you guys would like to follow me on my other social medias and see me a little bit more often, make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram at Michelle X Diaz and on TikTok as by Michelle Diaz. Also, don't forget to join our Material Amigas Discord community where we talk about everything. I will leave it down in the description below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on my next one. Bye!